In our first story, the Ghana Education Service has assured hundreds of junior high school leavers who had challenges so far with their placement, their issue resolved by Friday. The Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa, says with the exception of students who want to change schools or their residential status, others with genuine issues will be resolved. Out of the 122,000 students who had challenges with the self-placement system, over 80,000 have so far been placed. Komla Adom report, it was a generally orderly process on Tuesday as heavy police deployments also coordinated proceedings.
A day after chaos broke out here at the Black Star Square, which saw at least 3 students and a parent pass out during a near stampede due to attempts to get solutions to the school placement challenges, the situation has changed markedly. Here at the Black Star Square Tuesday, officials of the Ghana Education Service, the police, the Computerized School Selection Placement Secretariat have sort of provided an escape or an alternative for the scores of parents and students who throng this place to attempt to get placements for their children. So what you see in the picture at the moment is parents and students attempting to select 2 schools out of about 80 or more schools that have been provided for them to choose from. What it is that once you choose 2 schools which have available places or slots, you make your way to the Solution Center, an official will attend to you, and then the process continues from there. I've been speaking to some of the parents who are yet to go through the process. Here's what they've been telling me.
I'm in the queues long time. I don't know even where to pass and even where to go. And there's nobody to tell us that my people be here or be there.
But the police made an announcement that you people should occupy specific sheds, so they come and call you 20, then you come. 20.
I went there, there's no response. When they said the yellow side is from certain aggregate to certain aggregate. When you go there, they only mention that they said this is not the place.
Ojusu St. Tracy's, where you 13. I'm to West Africa. You can press motors. I'm see, I just said, oh, bad day. It's me hand diamond. Minis come the behind dime. Yabaha free fiada, a Jordan and ne. The Mabes Roman, so I'm finding 12 roses. Day and mammy.
So Margaret Samponsan says her daughter was placed at West Africa Senior High School in Accra when they live at Akwetia in the Eastern region, and so they want a school around Akwetia given to her daughter so that she would be a day student there at least, rather than be a day student that was here in Accra, which is far away from where they live. I've been speaking to some of the parents who have gone through the process so far. They say assurances are not certain. They've been told that they should expect a phone call from the Secretariat by Friday to know which of the 2 schools they selected will have the award attend.
When I went there, they said we should wait for them to identify whether they are going to give us the green or the gold. Okay. So we have to wait for them to call us. Okay. And that means in this case, we have to wait till they call us. So if they are learning, that means they are learning ahead of them.
But they didn't give you any indication when they will call you?
No. Okay,
so what was there?
And we wanted to change the school. The school that they gave here is under Canopy, Eastern region, St. Thomas, which is not good for me to take my word to that place. So I intended that they should give us the second choice, which is Winneba. We went there and the house mistress said we should come for letterhead from the educational office. We went there, they said we go to sports office. We went there, they said we should come to this place. And we came here since last week. From Monday, from there to today. By the time that they finish up this thing, it's almost at them.
There is heavy police deployment here. I've counted more than 25 police officials. I spoke to Accra Region SWAT Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DSP Suleiman Asule Jr. He tells me that the police had to review their strategy together with the Ghana Education Service following the chaos that broke out yesterday.
We're all not happy to see what happened here yesterday when the numbers swelled up, and the people here actually could not even continue with the work. So we had a meeting, the regional police commander, his second in command, the regional operations officer, and then a few officers. We came around and had a meeting with them. And then so moving forward, we have to review our security arrangements, and that's exactly what we did today. The officials of the school placement and the GES also made us to understand that they have categorized the people. Not everybody here is here with the same problem. So they actually detail officers and then different decks to attend to these issues. So this morning, having put these crash barriers to control and manage the crowd around this act, just to enable the people working to be able to work, we spoke with them and then we put them in the various groupings so that if you had scored between an aggregate of 6 and 7, 8, 9, and 10, you were put under a particular shed. And then if you are here with a special case, you are also put together and then under a particular shed. Today, we didn't want anybody to form a winding queue and then stand in the sun, but to put them under the shed. And so with the arrangement we have under the Act, at each time or particular time, we go in and bring in, say, about 20 people with a particular issue, and then they sit down. After they have finished attending to them, we go in again to the stands and bring in another batch.
We also had an interaction with the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa, who has been speaking to my colleague, Komlado.
The issues that we have here are just about 2 or 3. There are people who have done automatic self-placement. We did the automatic placement for them. And they are people who selected their own schools, 5 choices, and we've placed them in one of them. But for most of them, they want to come around and then see if they could change, because maybe they didn't get their first choice or they didn't get their second choice. But at least they had one of their choices. Okay. Now, for them, what we are saying is that once it is your own choice, you cannot change. Now, then we have those who come in here who say, I am day, but I want to do boarding. What we're saying is that you can't change. If for any reason we will change for you, then we are going to give you a comparable school in the area where you live so that you still go and do your day. Okay. Now, then the next group of students or candidates and applicants that we have here are those who are supposed to do their self-placement. For self-placement, you really does not need to come here to do self-placement, because the machine on which you realize that you have not been placed, when you go back on that same machine, you can do your self-placement. Okay. So you don't really need to come here. But if you come in here, we'll give you the list of schools that you can select from, and then we expect that they go back, look for a computer and then internet, and then do that self-placement. So those are the issues. Now, yesterday, I believe we had the situation that we had yesterday because we did not work here on Monday, on Saturday and Sunday. So being the first day of the week, we expected a lot of people to come around to come and see what was going on and how they could get their things done. Now, today, from the experience of yesterday, we were going to close the place up. But when we came here in the morning, we realized that people had already come to sleep here and are queuing and things like that. So what we've done is that, just as I said, we have put them in the problem areas or the issue areas. So if you look up there, it's one issue. If you look here, there's one issue here. There's another group in that order. So based on the issue that you are bringing, you go to the various places. And I think now everything is working. And we are thankful that it is working. They have listened to us. But let me also put it on record that we need to acknowledge the eagerness and the enthusiasm for people to want to be part of the system. Everybody wants to take advantage of the president's free SHS program. And that is also some of the reasons why you see people thronging here to make sure that they get schools. We are not changing schools. It is part of your selection, which you did yourself. If for any reason you want to change from day to a boarding school, it won't happen. But if you want to change from day to day, then we could get you to a closer place. If, for example, you've chosen a day school in Volta region, and you want a day school in Eastern region, that one, when you get to them, they will note it down, and then we'll get you a closer school, a school that is closer to you, that you can still do your day as is required.
Okay, just before I let you go, I've spoken to some of the people who have gone through this procedure and are leaving. They say they've been asked to expect a phone call by Friday to know which of the schools exactly their wards are going. What if they do not get their phone calls? Some of them seem unsure.
They will get it before Friday, on or before Friday. As we speak now, the 122,000 who were supposed to do self-placement, we have less than 40,000 now who have not done self-placement. So in spite of all the issues that we are talking about, a lot of people are doing the self-placement and they are on it. So I believe that by Friday, as we're saying, probably the numbers may have come down to maybe 20,000 or even probably less.
Meanwhile, in the Ashanti region, the Education Service is worried about what it calls entrenched position by parents and their wards on the choice of schools. Confusion over the selection and placement system into the senior high schools has seen many students miss out on their preferred schools. Public Relations Officer of the service in the Ashanti region, Mark Ofori, says the insistence of the parents and students for their choice of schools makes the whole process difficult. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has been monitoring the situation at the Ashanti Regional Education Office.
Anxious students complete forms for re-enrollment onto the computerized placement system. They hope to make it to the other schools after being denied those they would have wished to go. I'm doing it for my siblings. They are two. After hanging around with their parents for 2 days, they've been assured by Monday their headaches will be over. The queues were 2, and we've been directed to submit photocopies. They say on Monday we should go to the internet and check. They say we should make photocopies and place them here. We don't understand what is happening. However, my sources say these stranded students, most of whom have poor grades, were intentionally taken out of placement list. Students who are unfazed are still yearning for the A-rated schools. The GES is therefore urging calm among parents and prospective students.
Most of the parents, certainly, excuse me to say, those with grades that they were not placed in the schools that they selected. What we are telling them is that they should exercise patience until the last person within the jurisdiction of Ashanti gets a school. We are not going to close down the resolution center. But what we are telling them is that there are schools that are available. Instead of you to take an entrenched position that this is the particular school I would like my ward to be or to be placed, it makes the work difficult. It would even be possible because the grade that the person probably got, wouldn't warrant for him or her to be placed in that school. So all that we are telling them is that they should exercise patience and then calm down. When they come, whatever instruction we give them and then avail the number of schools that we have vacancies, they should look through the list, select a school that is closer to their vicinity so that we will place them in that school. So that at least, certainly, the issue would be resolved. And when they come, with all due respect, they should calm down. They shouldn't come with emotions because we are there for them. That's what I can tell parents.
For JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
In the Volta region, residents of Vakpo and Atai in the North Dine districts of the region have been relieved from suffering illnesses as a result of relying on unwholesome water for domestic use. And this follows the provision of a mechanized borehole fitted with an 850-litre water storage facility by the Suez Angels Foundation. Well, there's more in the following report.
Vakpo Aneta is a predominant farming community with a minute fraction of residents engaged in fishing. The community, with a population of about 1,500 lacks access to one of life's basic amenities, potable water. Dai, a tributary of a water lake, is the only source of water in this community. Though the water is brownish and declared unwholesome by the Danish International Development Agency (Danida), residents have no alternative than to rely on it for domestic use. They use the same water source for pleasure and take swims in it. Residents lamented the adverse effects of relying on unwholesome water.
The community heavily depends on river dam because there is no potable water in the community. Even the children and the women, they do go to the river dam to fetch water. And sometimes when it rains and the ground is slippery, some of the children slip into the water and they get drowned, even some of the mothers. And this river dam, we are aware that contains a lot of germs. Even the running water from the gutters do go inside river dam. And it has become a serious problem. And some of us also contract diseases which we don't know the source, but we believe it comes from a river dam.
Learning of the plight of a community, the Swiss Angels Foundation stepped in to salvage the situation. With financial support from a German couple, the community was provided a mechanized borehole to supply residents potable water. Francis Daffor is co-founder and country director of Swiss Angels Foundation.
This project costs a little over 30,000 Ghana cedis. The support of our team and our donors, which is Fernanda and Moru, German couples, they came to support the foundation to do this project.
An opinion leader in Vakbo Aneta, Odikro Eric Agbodovo, though appreciated the gesture, lamented the underdeveloped state of the community. Fred Kwame Asari's report for JoyNews.
And that's it for the news. Well, we have to look at more news, so we'll review the newspapers next. Myself, Mamavi Oswabwaje and Koje Yankson.